welcome to this episode of the Corporate Escapists TV show and podcast. I am your host, Christine Innes, and I'm so excited to be here because I wanted to sit down with you and share more about my personal story with you and the reason why I created the Corporate Escapists. So if you're sitting there right now feeling uninspired in life, uninspired in your job, feeling like all your relationships are just not working right now, and you're wondering what is next for your life, then this is the story that you need to hear right now. I'm a big believer that the universe sends us signs. The universe gives us these little hints along the way of our beautiful journey for us to be able to recognize at where we're at and potentially give us an insight of where we can go. So go and grab yourself a cup of tea, hit pause, sit down and relax, and I will share with you more about my personal story of how the Corporate Escapists began. So here we are. So what happened? So 6 years ago, I was coming out of a very toxic, unfixable marriage. I was also leaving the corporate world, what I call the not so gracious exit from the corporate world. And what all triggered it was that I was diagnosed with two life-changing illnesses. So I was diagnosed with adult asthma. And then in addition to that, within a 10-day span, I was also diagnosed with a heart condition. And all of that really was sort of like the catalyst for so many things that sort of started to unfold in my life. And one of the key things was obviously looking at where I was at and realizing that my marriage for a very long period of time was very toxic. It was unfixable. There was not much anything else that I could do to be able to stay. And I was also, because there was no money coming in, I was also in the process of filing for bankruptcy. Now, I was then thinking, okay, well, where to next? And I was very, very fortunate in the fact that I have amazing family. So here I was about to turn 40, and I ended up sleeping on my parents' couch for just on 6 months, I think it was. So it was such a big, huge journey. I was broke both emotionally and financially. I really had nothing left with inside of myself to sort of to give to other people. So throughout that period of time, I really spent probably a good 2 years learning about myself, and I feel like that was probably the best thing that I could have done. I always say now that everything that has happened to me is the best thing that I could have gone through, because it's gotten to me where I am right now. And I absolutely love my life. I love the business I'm creating, the people I'm working with. And, I can see, so much more goodness that's to come as well. So after spending those 2 years, some of the questions that I started to ask is really, what did I want for my life? And how many of you out there? So I'd love for you to start to leave some comments of how many people out there right now have never asked yourself, what do you want? Or what do I want for my life? Because a lot of the times, and I think that this is really important, especially for women, especially when we become mums and that as well, is that we put everybody else first on the totem pole. So we're always down the bottom. And as we do that, our needs, our wants, our desires, our passions, they all go out the window because we're putting everybody else's wants and needs first. So I was in a very fortunate position that I was able to have this time to be able to start asking myself these amazing questions, but also too, to be able to actually start working out what it was. Now, a lot of the times what I started to think about was it was about the past, and a lot of the things that what happened is I obviously went through the whole blame cycle. I call it playing the victim, because I was thinking, well, poor me, why me? Why is all this starting to happen to me? I'm a good person, that I've done what I should have done, but why is it all happening? But the biggest thing is about what I needed to do is for me to be able to take that next step, is for me to sit in ownership, is for me to actually claim everything and own it. So the power of owning my story, and actually able, first of all, today to be able to sit here and share it with you, but it's also just to be able to take that ownership to say, you know what, I got to this place in my life because of so many different steps, so many different decisions that I made, and I have to take ownership for some of those as well. So in doing that, I actually took everything back in control of my life. And the ability to do that was probably the greatest gift that I could have given myself as well. Because what happened was I had then the control. And when you take ownership of your life and you take the control back, so many other people are not able to then be able to have the control and influence on your life because you're in the driver's seat. You're the one that is now setting where your destination is going to be because you're taking control of your life. So I want to know, does this actually resonate with you? Let me know, share some love, put in your comments, and hopefully this is resonating with you. Now, I want to let everyone know that it has not been an easy ride. A lot of the times what we see in social media is we see the end product, we see the end result, people that, put your hair and makeup together, filters on their phones, all that different sort of stuff. But actually accepting the journey and actually going through it and processing it has actually been a really great gift as well. So hitting rock bottom, having what I call all these learning lessons, I always think that this was essentially the best thing that could have actually happened to me. Now, as I said, life has thrown me so many different curveballs. But one of the biggest things that I learned is for me to be able to change my life of the direction I want, I need to take action. Now, I really love talking about, believing in the universe, what you put out there, manifestation, the law of attraction. But a lot of people sort of go, well, I've put it out there. I've thought about it, Christine. I've dreamt it and all of that. But it's not until you take action that is when everything is going to be able to become a reality. So my favorite quote that I made up was dreams plus actions equal reality. That's right. Your dreams plus the action is going to equal reality. So what I needed to do was obviously start at the dream section, talk about what I wanted, where I wanted to go. So go back to those questions again. What did I want for my life? And one of the key things that I sat down was and actually looked about was my ideal day. So that was allowing me then to start to dream. It was allowing me to think about what would be the perfect day that I would love to be able to wake up on repeat every single time and allow that to just to sort of, permeate, like just to really, get all the creative juices flowing, who I wanted to be with, what I wanted to be doing with my life. And when I started on that process, the first thing I wanted to do was to wake up in my own bed, just to be able to have my own room, just to be able to get dressed in some personal space. That really was the first start to it. I then realized that I wanted to spend time with certain people in my life, especially my friends, my family. And then it also started to think about what did I want to do for work. And a lot of it is the fact that I love communicating. I love talking to people. I love hearing stories. I love finding more about people and helping them. And I've always done that throughout all my corporate career. I've literally just never realized that I could actually make a living from it as well. So, doing this whole ideal day process was really the first start of where I wanted my life to go and how this all started to then happen and how the idea sparked then also for the Corporate Escapists. So, if you also want to be able to learn about your ideal day, you can head over to our website at www.thecorporateescapists.com and you'll be able to download our free resources. And one of those is to create your ideal day. So, go over and check that out. Now, as I started working on all of that, and obviously there was a lot of healing that I needed to do, I started sharing my personal story. And by sharing it, because first of all, I'd already taken the ownership of it, I knew that I had to take the responsibility to where I had gotten to in my life, but also too, I realized the power of sharing my story because people were starting to notice a difference. People were starting to realize that, hey, you've changed so much. You've gone from this place to where you are in such a short period of time. How have you done it? And by sharing my personal story, this then opened up this beautiful conversation with people all around the world. And they started sharing with me on how they have escaped the corporate world, how they've had these amazing light bulb moments, and now they're actually following their passion. So I wanted to explore that even more. And I started what is now our TV show, which is what you're watching right now. So by interviewing these incredible men and women all around the world, and what I say, who have actually dared to follow their passion, this is how all the corporate escapists started, because I had the ability to, first of all, you know, do the work to be able to start to dream again, start to actually see the vision of what I wanted for my life. But in addition to that, I'd put the action steps together. And those action steps was working on myself. It was also doing the healing. It was also about looking at different people that I, really admired and could see how that they were living life and things that I wanted for me. And then I wanted to see what I could actually create in my own reality. So creating the TV show was the first step. And then from there, I was very fortunate enough that it was suggested to me that, Christine, you should be starting a podcast. You should be using the audio from these amazing interviews, because there's so much what I call golden nuggets in each episode as well. And there's so much content that we have provided on each of the shows. But sometimes we don't have time to sit down and to watch. We simply just want to listen. So I created the Corporate Escapists podcast. So now you get to either watch, you get to listen. And then last year, I was doing a beautiful meditation and I saw magazine covers. And in those magazine covers, I thought, oh, okay, well, does that mean I'm going to be on it? But then as I sunk more into it, it was that it was just another platform for me to be able to share incredible stories so that we can help inspire, motivate, and help give you that clarity that you need of where you can go for your life, for you to be able to follow your passion, for you to be able to live your best life as well. So last year, we launched the Corporate Escapists magazine, and it's really incredible that, when you put your heart and soul into something, that you're really authentic, you stand up for what you believe in, but also too that you connect with your right tribe, that all this magic can start to happen. So I just want to just let people know that, sometimes what it all takes is that sometimes we feel that we've been let down in life. Sometimes we feel that, it's the poor me, why has this happened? But what if we could flip that and we can actually learn from it? That we could actually learn as to what are things that I want from my life out of it. Maybe it's the questions we haven't asked ourselves. Maybe it's the questions that we need to start asking ourselves, but also start asking other people as well, as to what we can do for our life, what we could also do to make it the best life that we possibly could have ever imagined. Because no matter where you are right now, it's exactly where you need to be. And then it's allowing you then to give the opportunity to dream so big, to be able to think of what you desire, what you want out of your life, what your passion, what your purpose is, and then to put the action plan into place to make it all become a reality. And I am living proof that anything is absolutely possible. In my corporate career, full disclaimer, I've never done any media, I've never done any marketing. So I have learned all of this myself. So honestly, if I can do it, then you can too. And if you have this passion inside of you or something that you want to start, if you want to be able to build a business, then make sure you reach out and talk to us, because we have a beautiful program where we take you through all the steps on how you can actually launch your business in just 90 days. So go ahead, reach out, connect with us, because we're here. We've got a beautiful team to help support you to be able to do that. If you're sitting there and you've got a business and you're going, I just want that extra help and support. I need to be able to get my business, my story in front of so many other people. Again, reach out to us, because this is what we're all about. We're about helping heart-centered business owners be able to connect authentically to their audience, for them to be able to grow their business, to grow their brand globally. We're here to help those people that are sitting on the sidelines, that are sitting there going, you know what, I want so much more from my life. How can I do it? We have amazing coaching programs for you to be able to change your life. We have coaching programs to be able to help you start your business. And we help these amazing businesses that have already been sort of featured on our TV show, our podcast, in our magazine. So if you've got a business just like that, make sure you reach out to it, because remember, those dreams, those actions, and will all help make it become a reality. So I just wanted to share just a little snippet of it. I hope this inspires you. I would love to hear your comments. Make sure you go ahead and you hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you follow us over at the Corporate Escapists on Facebook and Instagram as well. And if you've got any questions, leave them below and I will reach out personally to each and every one of it. So love and light to you all, and remember to follow your passion and dream big.